Hi everyone, in this video we are going to create a virtual machine on ESXi 6. I've already logged into my host, select create register virtual machine, which is going to start the new machine wizard. We're going to use the top option, which is create a new virtual machine. Click on next. We're going to have to specify the hardware version, which is going to be for ESXi 6.5 or version 13. I'm going to choose Windows as my OS and Server 2012 as the operating system. Also have to give it a name. And we're ready to go to the next step. I want to store this on the data store, which is data store 1. And a few hardware items I'm going to want to change. First of all, I'm going to change the memory to 1 GB. The disk I will leave the size that it is. I'm just going to expand this out and notice that it is thin provisioned and where my location is going to be. The one thing you will notice is this warning that the disk size specified is greater than the actual storage. My data store is not 40 gigabytes in size. Having said that, because it's thin provisioned, I'm fine from that perspective. The other thing I need to do is configure the optical disk, so it's going to point to the ISO that I need to do the installation for the guest OS. I can take my DVD, hit the drop down, say that I want a data store ISO file, navigate to the correct data store, choose the ISO image for the OS. And one of the things that we have to make sure is that the connect checkbox is selected. If we don't do that, then what will happen is the ISO will not mount when the VM boots. It'll try to pixie boot rather than booting from the optical disk, and we won't be able to perform the installation. Once we're finished that, click on next. We'll get a list of summarizing all of the different properties that we set up in the wizard. If we're good with that, click finish, and we will see that the VM is going to be created. The message comes up down in recent tasks to say that that's been completed, and if I select VMs, we'll see here is the VM that we actually created just a second ago. If I click on that, I'll be able to get some information about that virtual machine. We can see, for example, what the guest OS is, hardware version, VMware Tools is not yet installed. And we can also expand out on the general information and get additional data about the VM. That's all there is to creating a virtual machine in ESXi 6.5. Hopefully this was useful for you, and we'll see you next time.